Imagine sitting down to start your homework after a long school day. You tell yourself you'll check your phone for just a minute, and suddenly an entire hour has disappeared. The assignment hasn't even started, the evening feels shorter, and now you're rushing to catch up. That small moment happens to millions of students every day, and it's one of the biggest reasons many students feel constantly behind. Welcome to ETP Next Generation, a mentorship series focused on helping students build confidence, discipline, and direction so they can succeed in school and in life. Each lesson is designed to provide practical guidance that encourages responsibility, self-respect, and steady personal growth. One of the biggest misunderstandings students have about success is believing that high-achieving students somehow have more time. In reality, everyone receives the same 24 hours each day. The difference is not time itself. The difference is how that time is used. To understand why time disappears so easily, consider the story of a student named Alex. Alex is a sophomore in high school. He wants to do well academically and talks often about attending college someday. His teachers believe he is capable, and his parents encourage him to stay focused on his goals. But when Alex returns home after school, the routine usually unfolds in the same way. He drops his backpack on the bed and tells himself he will begin homework in a few minutes. Before starting, he opens his phone to check messages. A notification appears from social media, followed by a short video recommended by an app. Then another video appears, and another. Eventually, Alex looks up and notices the clock. Nearly 2 hours have passed. Now his evening feels rushed. Instead of studying calmly and understanding the material, he is simply trying to finish assignments quickly before bedtime. The next morning, he wakes up tired, struggles to concentrate in class, and wonders why school feels so stressful. This situation raises an important question. Have you ever planned to start your work earlier, but ended up doing something else first? Many students recognize that feeling immediately. It doesn't happen because students lack intelligence or potential. It happens because time can easily slip away when attention is pulled in several directions. The first reason many students waste time is distraction. Modern technology offers constant entertainment and communication, but it also competes for attention throughout the day. Messages, videos, and social media updates are designed to keep users engaged. What begins as a quick check often turns into extended scrolling without the student realizing how much time has passed. Successful students learn to protect their focus. Some place their phone across the room while studying, while others silence notifications during homework time. These small choices create a clear boundary between work and distraction. When interruptions are removed, concentration becomes much easier. Another reason students lose time is attempting to multitask. Some believe they can study while texting friends, watching videos, or browsing online. In reality, the brain struggles when attention constantly shifts between activities. Each switch forces the mind to refocus, which slows progress and increases frustration. Focusing on one task at a time allows work to move forward more efficiently. When attention stays on a single objective, understanding improves and assignments are completed more quickly. Concentration transforms effort into meaningful results. Planning also plays an important role in how time is used. Many students begin the day without a clear idea of what they want to accomplish. Without a plan, it becomes easy to react to whatever appears first: notifications, entertainment, or conversations with friends. Creating a simple plan provides direction. EGK of writing a long list of tasks, some students choose 2 or 3 important priorities for the evening. EGK priorities might include finishing a specific assignment, reviewing notes for an upcoming quiz, or reading a section of a textbook. Completing these goals EGK-ly. Procrastination is another common reason time is lost. When an assignment appears large or complicated, the brain sometimes tries to avoid it. The task feels uncomfortable, so student K delays starting it. Unfortunately, EGKing work usually increases stress because the deadline continues to approach. Over time, this habit can make even simple assignments feel more overwhelming than they actually are. Breaking work into smaller student K can solve this problem. Instead of thinking about finishing an entire project, begin with a manageable action. Read GK, review a few flashcards, or complete. Starting the task often reduces the feeling of pressure and builds momentum. Once progress begins, students usually realize the work is more manageable than they first expected. Take a moment to think about your own experiences. Have you ever delayed an assignment because it seemed difficult, only to realize later that it wasn't as complicated as you expected? That realization happens frequently. The challenge often feels larger in our minds than it actually is. Energy also affects how effectively students use their time. When sleep is limited, concentration becomes weaker and learning becomes slower. A tired mind struggles to absorb information, which makes assignments take longer than necessary. Consistent rest allows the brain to process new knowledge and remain alert during study sessions. Another factor that influences time management is environment. Studying in a place filled with noise, interruptions, or constant activity can make it difficult to stay focused. Some students discover that moving to a quieter location, such as a library, study room, or calm corner of the house, improves productivity immediately. However, the deeper lesson behind time management is discipline. Discipline is the ability to choose actions that support long-term goals, even when distractions appear. Students who practice discipline develop a stronger sense of responsibility for their choices. Instead of reacting automatically to every notification or invitation, they decide what deserves their attention. Over time, discipline also strengthens self-respect. When students complete tasks they committed to doing, they begin to trust themselves more. This confidence becomes a powerful motivation to continue improving. It reminds them that consistent effort can lead to meaningful change. It is important to understand that progress in time management does not happen instantly. Habits develop gradually through repeated actions. A student who begins protecting just a small portion of the evening for focused study will eventually notice that assignments become easier to handle. With patience and consistency, these small habits can transform the entire way a student approaches schoolwork. As these habits strengthen, something interesting happens. School begins to feel less overwhelming. Work feels more organized. Confidence grows because the student knows that effort is being used effectively. Returning to Alex's story, imagine what happens when he makes a few simple changes. Instead of checking his phone immediately after school, he spends the first hour completing his most important assignment. Once that task is finished, he takes a short break before continuing with the next priority. This new routine helps him start each evening with focus instead of distraction. Within a few weeks, Alex notices that homework no longer stretches late into the night. He arrives at school feeling more prepared, participates more confidently in class, and begins seeing improvements in his grades. The amount of time in his day has not changed, but the way he uses it has. As a result, he feels less stressed and more in control of his daily responsibilities. This transformation shows that success often comes from small adjustments rather than dramatic changes. Students who manage their time effectively are not necessarily working harder than everyone else. They are simply directing their attention more carefully. Think about tomorrow for a moment. Tomorrow morning you will receive the same 24 hours that every successful student receives. The difference will not come from the number of hours available, but from the decisions made during those hours. Choosing to focus when it matters, beginning assignments before distractions take over, and protecting time for meaningful work are all examples of discipline in action. If you want mentorship that helps you stay focused, develop stronger habits, and build a clear direction for your future, that is exactly what ETP Next Generation, the ETP Entertainment Mentorship Series, is here to provide. Our mission is to help students from junior high through college develop the confidence, discipline, and responsibility needed to prepare for successful careers and fulfilling lives. If this message encouraged you to think differently about how you spend your time, consider sharing it with a friend who might benefit from the same reminder. And subscribe to ETP Next Generation so you never miss the next mentorship lesson.